white man dating black.
Welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. It's a late one. I typically stream this late. It's 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm at in Dallas. This is really the only free time I have, guys. So I try to get some stuff done and you know make it permanent. Uh, make it evergreen for the channel. So if you come in and join, hey, welcome. And today's video is going to be about some white guy that you see on the screen here. Um, Apparently, he thinks that, I guess, he needs to carry a gun because he feels threatened by other, I guess, black men because he dates black women. So let's check this out.
Black women in this country right now, your life is in danger. The reason why no one is ever talking about this is one, because it's the least common dating dynamic and racially, and two, because the only people who feel like they have the platform to talk about it are black women. But I believe I have a platform to talk about anything I want, so I will. If you're like me and you date black women, you need to have a firearm on you at all times. You need to have a concealed carry with you at all times. The reason I say this is because when I bring a black woman with me in public, I can't tell you how many times I've been threatened. I've had black men attempt to intimidate me, attempt to stare me down, and act completely inappropriate and violent towards me just because I have a black woman with me. When you think about like interracial racism, you think about white men who criticize white women for dating black men, which is just as stupid and ridiculous. But this is a whole other level because it's blatant, it's in public, and there's no shame because no one, the collective conscience isn't of this like country is not aware of it. So that's why I'm talking about it. And I feel like if you haven't heard this and you're like me and you're a white man who's dating a black woman, you need to get on this immediately and get yourself protected. Danger.
My brother in protons, what the fuck are you talking about? The largest danger to an interracial relationship is a white man and insecurity. And brother, you're both.
Damn. That's what it sounds like to me too, man, because I didn't hear him mention anything about anything happening to him, right? I personally think what happened is he got a mug or two by maybe one or two black guys, maybe taking his girl out, and it went as far as that. He didn't say anything about I was attacked or anything like that. He just felt threatened, right? He felt he was in a hostile environment. Anytime most white guys go into a, I guess, predominantly black space, if that's what he was at, he's probably already going to be intimidated anyway, right? That's just what it is. But I'm not buying that, what he's talking about. I'm not buying that he feels threatened, if that makes any sense. Not to that degree, because most black men that I know, for the most part, guys, don't give a damn. It's usually the other way around. You have black women who, the majority, a lot of them cannot stand, to see a black man dating outside of his race, whether it's a white woman, whether it's Hispanic, whoever it is, right? You usually hear black women talking crazy, talking greasy about other black men who date outside the race. You rarely hear black men talking like that. I'm not saying that there aren't any who do it, because I'm quite sure there are. But if you're talking about a numbers game here, the majority is going to be on the other side, guys. Okay.
You know you're exaggerating. You know that you've never even been in a situation like this. You probably had one black guy stare at you and you thought, oh my god, I'm so frightened. Funny thing about this is that white men are much more likely to do what the fuck he's talking about. They are much more likely to be aggressive towards a black guy for dating a white woman, and vice versa. And
Facts.
then you have a bunch of tap dancing coons in the comments waiting to be fed by the hand, going, oh yeah, get a bitch. You don't shut up. This man is purposely trying to paint black men as aggressors to justify harming or even killing a black guy. Oh, well, he was bucking at me. Oh, he was doing this. Like, I've seen this shit before.
Yeah. Toys Live Here says this should be good. I just got to the house. yeah, man, we're gonna see what this is about, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
I don't usually wrap myself up in the internet mess, but this one it just bothered me so damn much. There's a white boy that's gone viral talking about dating black women. And in this video, he says that black men have intimidated and threatened him so bad when they see him with a black woman. And then he starts encouraging other white men who date black women to get a gun to protect themselves from black men. Now, all that, as outrageous as it is not the reason I'm making this video. The comments are. Because as I started reading them, I started noticing how many black women were agreeing with him.
And like I said before, you're usually going to get the black women who are going to be the haters and the ones who are talking a lot of cash money shit, guys, on black men because of them dating outside their race. But nobody wants to talk about why these black men are dating outside their race. Nobody wants to talk about the culture that exists right now within the black community, in particular black women. Nobody wants to talk about that, right? And all you got to do is just go on TikTok, go on Instagram, and you're going to see the bonnets, you're going to see the eyelashes, you're going to see the fake weaves, you're going to see the ratchetness, you're going to see the women talking about if a guy doesn't have this or that in his bank account, if a guy is not 6 feet tall, if a guy is not this or that. You're going to hear all these things, right? All of these tropes from black women, okay? And then they wonder why all these black men are leaving and going outside of their race and dating that race, because it's not easy at home. It's not easy when you have to deal with somebody who's always loud, always in your face, always in your ears, always doing extra shit, right? When you just want peace and quiet as a man. That's all you want. That's all we want as men. Most of us are very simple creatures. We want to be simple. We want, we don't like a lot of complication in our lives, guys. And women, in particular black women, a lot of them, not saying all because my wife is black, but there are a lot of women out here who don't move that way, okay? And if I'm to keep it real with you, if my wife made it uncomfortable or made it, somewhere where I could not get peace, I would not be married to her, guys. She just happened to be black. If it would have been a white woman, if it would have been a Mexican, whoever it would have been, I just want peace. Whoever's going to give me peace, whoever's going to love me, right? And accept me for who I am. That's who I'm going to run with. And black men are now finding out that if they go outside of their race, they're entering a whole new world. You know what I mean? It's like they're in a science fiction movie. Like, what? You mean I can ask her for something and she'll do it and she won't bitch at me? You mean I can, go in here and I can have my peace and she's not going to, trip out on me? What? And this is what a lot of black men are experiencing when they go outside their race. And that's why you see a lot of them stay outside of their race, because a lot of us as black men grow up in this environment. We grow up with a lot of our black women who are loud. We witness all this stuff, right? And we think that's the norm. But then when we get outside of our houses and we get outside, of that area and we start to discover new things, we realize that, it's a whole nother world out here. And this woman here is treating me like royalty. And she's not getting mad at me. She's not tripping out. And I like it over here. And at first, I can tell you right now from personal experience, I've dated outside my race more than a few times. Okay, so I've run the gauntlet, so to speak, in my younger years. And I can tell you, dealing with white women was way, way more, way easier for the most part, as far as, how they act and how they react to certain things. I could tell you that. And so my wife, who I'm married to now, she happens to be black, but she has a lot of temperament. She has a temperament of somebody who would make any man happy, because men would just want our peace. We just want to be with somebody who's going to let us be us, right? And we're not asking for a whole lot of shit. That's what men, we don't roll like that, right? We just want to go to work, we come home, we do what we're supposed to do, and we want to do the things that we want to do when we come home. That's it. We don't want a lot of bitching and nagging, guys. We don't want all that loud talk and all that extra shit. And a lot of black women, they live in that. They can't separate themselves from that. So it is what it is.
They were encouraging him, speaking negatively about black men as a group as a whole. And I'm sitting there thinking, wait a minute. This white man is telling other white men to arm themselves because of black men. And there are black women in his comments helping him make their argument. Do we understand what we're co-signing here? Because I'm watching some black women, help reinforce the idea that black men are inherently threatening and dangerous to a white guy. And do we not recognize that? Because I do. We have absolutely seen this story before. Now, I'm not saying that black women are responsible for defending black men. We're not. Black women should be able to talk about our experiences with black men, just like black men should be able to talk about their experiences with black women. But there is a distinct difference in talking about what a person did and deciding that that behavior tells you something about all black people. And reading those comments just started making me think about something that Dr. Claude Anderson talks about a lot. How black people see ourselves as a group, how we value each other, how much racial pride actually shows up in the way that we deal with one another. And it made me start thinking about racial self-esteem. Not, are you proud to be black? I'm proud to be black, that's easy. But how highly do we think of each other?
Look, man, here's my issue. When it comes to black women, I'm not saying keep this in mind. Like I said, my wife is black. But what I'm saying is that the problem I think with a lot of black women is when it comes to black men, guys, they don't know how to take accountability for the things that they've done. Okay? My mother, my own mother, God rest her soul, never admitted to being wrong, never apologized for anything. It sounds crazy, right? But it's actually true, right? My dad used to tell me this when I was a little kid. Well, when I was a teenager, he used to tell me this. And the older I got, I started to realize that he was not lying. Like when I was old enough to understand how people moved and I was able to watch her and understand like the stuff that she did, it really got to me and it really made me aware of, there's a lot of women who are out here moving like this, right? They're not going to apologize. They're not going to take accountability. Instead, they want to turn around and blame the men for everything that they've done. You got multiple kids by multiple men. It's the man. Oh yeah, every guy I dealt with, they were just trash. They were just this and this. So you mean to tell me that you had a baby by one dude and you decided to let another dude nut inside you, and then you did that a third time, and you don't blame yourself. You don't see what you did, right? You don't want to look at yourself in the mirror. That's the problem.
Because you can love being a black woman and think very little of black men. And a black man can love being a black man and have absolutely terrible things to say about black women. We see both all the time. So what does it really mean to have pride in your race if that same pride doesn't extend to half of it? And once I started thinking about it that way, I started thinking about all these little things that we've been saying to each other forever. She got good hair. He cute for a dark-skinned boy. Or, don't get too black. Stay out that sun. I've heard them all. And none of those statements came from nowhere. Somebody taught us how to rank ourselves, right? Now, this is where Mamie and Kenneth Clark come in. In the 1940s, the Clarks were studying racial identity in black children. And I'm saying Mamie first intentionally because this research grew out of work that she started while she was in graduate school. They worked with black children using dolls, one black, one white. And they asked questions. Which doll would you like to play with? Which doll is nice? Which doll is bad? And many of the black children preferred the white doll and were more likely to assign positive qualities to that white doll and negative qualities to the black one. Then they asked, which doll looks like you? And some of these children struggled. They became upset. And think about what you've just asked that baby to do. You told me which doll you think is nice. You've told me which one you think is bad. Okay, now which one are you? And these are children. They didn't create segregation. They didn't invent racism. But many of them were already associating positive qualities with whiteness and negative qualities with blackness before they were ever even old enough to understand where these ideas came from. So how? Right? Look at the world they were growing up in. For generations, this country had been telling black people exactly what they thought we were.
So, if you are a white man in the United States of America dating a black woman in 2026, your life is in danger. Why? Because black men are not going to allow it. I mean, this is so crazy.
Where have you heard? Show me. I don't want to see some news. Like, show me where there has been an instance. I'm sure there may be one minute, one spread out somewhere because all kinds of shit happens in crime every day. But where do you ever hear of multiple stories of a white man who is dating a black woman being attacked by other black men because he's dating this black woman? Bro, you never hear this shit, okay? Because most black men don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. Why should they worry about her? She's not into them. We're not even worried about it. So for him to say, for that white dude to come out and say that shit, that was out of fear, in my opinion. That was out of fear because somebody was mugging him. Maybe they went to the movies or something and it was somebody, but he never did anything, because if he did, there would be cops involved. He would have said it. But all he said was he felt intimidated and he was being looked at crazily, right? But he made it seem like it was worse than it really was, guys. So now he said, okay, well, everybody strap up, carry a strap. If you're white dating a black woman, carry a strap, because you may get jumped. You may be assaulted by a gang of black men just because you're dating a black woman. What? Okay, man, it's crazy. Now, if you want to flip that, then hey, we can do that. You in the deep South, okay, them sundown states, okay, cool. You still got to be careful if you're a black man dating a white woman or just outside of your race in general. Now that's true for us, but that's not true for the white boy, man. I'm sorry.
Honestly, guys, so I came across this video of this white man claiming that white men dating black women in the United States of America are not safe and their lives are in danger. And he goes on ahead and advises them to make sure that they are carrying a pew-pew with them to protect themselves from black men. And I'm like, wait, did I just hear that right? For a moment, I actually thought this was just satire. I thought this, and oh God, I was just hoping that this was all just satire, only to realize that this man is serious and he's using this as an excuse, of Caucasian men to have an excuse of unaliving or puping innocent black men. And the saddest part, or the saddest thing about this, is that there are some black women on the comment section. There are some black women who have stitched this video and are agreeing to what he's saying.
They're agreeing because they're salty. These are the salty black women who are tired of looking at a lot of black men dating outside their race. Right? Why not choose me? Why not, why does he have to date this white woman? Why does he have to date this Mexican woman? Why? It's probably because you told, 10 guys in the past, 5 years to go kick rocks when they came up to you and they asked you for your number. Maybe they caught you at the gas station. I've seen countless videos of black women who not only just turn black men down, they go out of their way to insult them and put them down and call them out of their name sometimes just for them trying to get a date or get a number, right? There's a way you turn somebody down. I have a daughter and she's 6 years old, and I guarantee you she's going to have etiquette. Okay. Proper etiquette. I tell her now, if there's a boy who likes you, right, and you don't like him, there's a certain way you handle that. You don't insult him. You don't make fun of him, right? There's a certain way you tell somebody no, or you're not available. There's a certain way you go about it. But there's a lot of women out who don't move like that, guys. And they're half the problem. There are a lot of the reasons why a lot of these black guys are going outside of their race and trying to, meet other women. And they're not getting that same kickback, because black women can be greasy as hell sometimes. They can talk crazy to you. And I learned a long time ago, that's the type of woman, the ratchetness. In my opinion, every girl has a ratchet meter. And when I decided to, hey, I'm going to get serious with somebody and I'm going to start dating with intent, I'm not dealing with these women anymore. I'm not. If your ratchet meter is to a certain level, bro, I can't do it. I'm not dealing with it. I don't have time. I don't have patience. I'm not dealing with it. I need peace. And so I made sure that the next woman that I got with, and if she was going to be the one, she had to meet some certain things had to be certain things had to be done. And lo and behold, they have been. So thank God for that. You know what I'm saying? But I feel bad. I still have boys out here. I still have a 13-year-old son, right, who I worry about in this cesspool of a dating scene that we have out here now, because social media has kind of just really did a number on this shit, in my opinion. Social media has really done a number on a lot of our women, and it's sad, guys, because now there's women out here who expect you to spend money before you even go on a date. Okay? If you want to date me, this is from a woman talking. If you want to date me, ask me what I'm doing. If I'm getting my nails done, ask me. You should be asking me how much is that, and you should be asking me for my Zelle, or do I have a Cash App? What? It's trash, man.
And I'm like, wait, do y'all not have black sons? Do y'all not have black brothers? Do y'all not have black fathers? It's crazy. Are your nephews not black and you're here agreeing with what this racist man is saying and giving him the go ahead to unalive black men? Because I'm like, just because somebody looked at you because you're dating somebody from their race does not mean that they're about to harm you.
That happens all the time in the black community. That happens all the time to black men. That now I would believe that way quicker than I would believe what this white boy said. Period. I remember going out with a white girl and going to the grocery store and getting all kinds of crazy looks. But, you know, I was a kid. I was young. So, you know, I just, to add insult to injury, I said, okay, why is this old white lady staring at us like she can't stand me? So I just grabbed the white girl's ass right there in the store, right? You know, I did shit like that. So just to kind of sock it to him a little bit better. You know, that's how I was moving. But it happens all the time to black men, guys. Okay. I find that very hard to believe that most black men are going to physically attack or harm or make this man think that he needs a gun for protection. Stop it. Stop the cap.
And even when you look at history, who used to lose their lives because of dating the white women? Black men.
Exactly.
It's history. It's proven. It's not just speculations. I've gathered a few clips that I want us to watch together and what people are saying about these. But honestly speaking, this is one of the craziest videos I've come across in this week. And I'm like, what's really happening? Is history repeating itself? Are some Caucasian men looking for reasons to be unaliving innocent black men? Honestly, this is so crazy, guys. But anyway, every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on this episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. And I want to remind you all that this episode is for education purposes, and you all that are agreeing with him, you should go back and check on history on how black men just used, or how many black men lost their lives just because they were dating a white woman, just because they were dating outside their race in this same country that this man is claiming that white men dating black women in the United States of America are in danger. So let's just watch and we'll be back with more.
The reason why no one is ever talking about this,
Because it's not real. Not to the extent you're making it out to be. My favorite thing to do in these types of situations is search. And in my search, aside from the anecdotals in your comments, I can't find anything to the extent of James Harris Jackson traveling by bus from Baltimore to New York City to kill as many black men with white women as he could. Travis Ricci trying to kill a black man for being in an interracial couple. He failed at killing the black man but killed the black man's white girlfriend. An interracial hate crime in Georgia where a black man was stabbed and dragged behind a truck that took 34 years to get a conviction. And these things happened in 1984, 2009, 2019. Those are all references without even mentioning the historical context prior to the 2000s, prior to the 80s, prior to the Civil Rights Bill. The truth of the matter is, if you and your girlfriend are in danger specifically because of your relationship, specifically because the nature of you being in an interracial relationship, that danger is more likely to come from a white man than a black man. But if this country is reverting to the 60s and prior the way it feels like it is, from what I could find through my search, usually they only kill the black men dating the white women. If you're a white man dating a black woman, they'll spare your life and just burn your house down or something.
Can't believe this bitch cosplaying white boy got the nerve to say this shit out his mouth, and then y'all in his comments talking about exactly,
That's the black
massa,
man.
exactly. How about you shut your up, Jordy? How about you worry about your own damn community? That boy Jesse Butler just violently assaulted 2 women, and he going to LSU next year. That boy in Iowa or Idaho, wherever the y'all live at, just went and shot 7 people, random. How about you worry about your own people? You got Tania and Nicole Miller just got found from a tree, and y'all worried about a white boy getting mugged on the street. You worried about a getting mugged at? You worried about it getting a couple greasy looks? Shut the up.
Right.
Y'all some cones. Oh my God. Shut the up.
It's mainly towards the women, man. Like I said, the majority of the people in the comments agreeing with the white boy was, like I said, black women. These are tainted black women. These are women who are salty. These are women who can't get a man. And they don't want to take accountability for that, right? They don't want to ask themselves why I can't get a man. They want to just be mad that they don't have one and then look to other reasons to try to blame them for them not having one. That's just all it is, man. That's all. It's that simple, that clean, cut, and dry. All right. Take accountability. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. Diagnose and find out what's wrong with you, what you have been doing wrong in all these years, and why your ass is still single. Okay. And then maybe you can solve it and find you a man. And then you can stop getting into other people's business that you shouldn't be in and doing what you're doing. That's just my humble opinion, guys.
A black woman in Mississippi was just found so far up a tree they had to go get a fireman ladder to get her down. Tasia Fortune was so high up that tree, they had to get in the back of an abandoned building in Mississippi, the same state that Trey Reed.
I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to Mississippi, though, you ain't going to catch me out there. Okay. I went there a long time ago, years ago. I was a little kid. Okay. And I had no choice, but you'll never see me in those states. You'll never see me out there fucking with those people, even in any vicinity, guys. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay far, far away from it. And yeah, so you call me what you want to call me, but you ain't going to call me down there.
The same state that Nolan Wells is in. And y'all worried about getting some greasy looks. Shut the up. Oh my God. Y'all be with the enemy and then mad when people look at you funny. Y'all be with the opposition and mad when people look at you like, what the is wrong with you? Because what the is wrong with you? If I see a black man with a white woman, if I see a white woman with a black man, I'm definitely going to give them a look. Because soon as I see him, I say, oh, that don't look right. I'm going to mind my business. But at the end of the day, you look like a idiot. And let me tell you one more thing. The women that you dating is not the women that we want. So there's no way that we jealous of your bitch. We is not looking at them women like, oh my God, I can't believe she's with a white man. We don't give a we're not you. We don't sit around seeing our women with another race of men and think that, oh my God, I'm so jealous. He must be. We don't give a Y'all do that. We look at them women like, oh yeah, they're losers. They're whitewashed. They're self-hating. We don't even want them. They're not even wanted over here. That's why they with you. That's why they're with you. Dumbass. We not the type that y'all be, like when y'all look at black men with a white woman, y'all be like, oh my God, you must be banging her out. You bitch.
If you are a white man dating black women in this country, your life is not in any danger. Let's not speak in hyperbole because you had one bad experience with a Hebrew Israelite who is inherently bigoted. It does not make it okay for you to make broad statements against black men, especially in this racial climate where anti-black is the running theme of the country. And if you're marshmallow soft and your first thought is I need to get a pistol to protect myself instead of I need to learn how to defend myself, maybe you shouldn't be dating at all because there is an inherent risk whenever you step outside that somebody is going to test you. That could be black men, white men, Hispanic men, any plethora of men could potentially threaten you in this country. Let's not put it all on one demographic because that's who you had the bad experience with. Walking into this type of relationship dynamic as somebody who is fearful of the people that she is around the most is going to be a hard issue for you to overcome if you can't overcome your underlying issues of racism. I just want you to understand that.
Shame. You know, as somebody who is dated interracially, I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about this topic. So let's talk about it. To perpetuate this ideology that black men are inherently more violent than white men is wild. Because we have the data to support the fact that white men have historically strange, fruited, harassed, and harmed black men for just being in close proximity to white women. You're actually with black women so you can get attention. That's why. Because I know what would be happening if you were dating your own kind. I know that if you were just dating a white woman, you wouldn't get any attention. And that's what this is about. I was never concerned about what white men thought about me dating interracially. I never cared, despite that potential threat or that danger, which lets me know that you view black women as an object to gain access to attention from black men because you want to feel more masculine. Emmett Till was unalived for just the idea that he whistled at a white woman. And you got on this internet to say that you think white men, the most armed person in this country, by the way, needs to be armed in case they are dating a black woman.
Look, man, I'm going to say this. This is what I think in retrospect. A lot of these racist white men and women, just anyone who is in that category, especially when it comes to blacks in particular, most of them are, just racist, period, but they're scared. They're just shook. Okay, let's just keep it real. They're scared as hell because the world is changing. It's been changing, technically. If you want to keep it very technical, it started to change the moment they took us off those fucking boats. Okay? It was only a matter of time. And the world is changing, and now it's changing faster, at a faster pace. And it's almost like they feel like they're running out of time. They're running out of time. This is really, the United States is truly becoming a melting pot in every direction we turn in. And a lot of men can't handle that. A lot of people can't deal with that. And they're scared, guys. That's all it is. They're scared. A lot of them are jealous. Okay? And that's just the natural truth of it. And they don't know where to take that or put that anger or put that hate. So they direct it towards something that is not them, something that is different. Right? We excel at so many things. And they can't stand it. They can't stand to see their women, with us. A lot of them can't. So they throw tantrums. Okay? And it can't be stopped. It won't be stopped. There's nothing that they can do. There's nothing that anyone can do to stop where it's at and where it's going. It's not going to change. It's only going to get more. It's only going to happen more and more. And that's just what it is. That's just the nature of it all. Okay? So deal with it how you deal with it, but nobody's going anywhere.
And black men come approach them aggressively or intimidate them. So I'll say this. You don't like the way that you're being treated while you're in close proximity to a black person. Imagine how the black person feels in society. And then for you to say this is a whole other level, you think that black men are more harmful than white men. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to hear none of that teary-eyed BS you got going on where you trying to talk all slow and act like you the victim. It's giving white woman tears.
And
For real.
then he goes on to say
Yeah.
it's because how black men be staring at him and saying the most violent things that he ever heard in his life. Like, nice try, buddy, but let's be for real. Like, this is why I feel like YT boys really need to learn their history more than we need to know ours. Because at the end of the day, it seems like these dudes don't know nothing about the past. And it's just like, that shit irked my soul. It's like, do you not know what they did to a black man if he dated a YT woman, even when we was free?
I mean, they're still doing that shit now in certain locations. Like I said, you go to certain areas in Mississippi, you see this happening all the time. If you live in Mississippi and you're black, get the fuck out of there. I'm just going to say that. I mean, I know a lot of people, a lot of black people live there and they're from there and all that. But guys, there's nothing good in Mississippi, guys, in my opinion. I'm just going to say it. Whenever I see it, whenever I think about it, I throw up in my mouth a little bit. It's a lot of trash over there. So I'm just saying I wouldn't be over there. I would not. If you have kids, if you have family, I just wouldn't do it. It hasn't changed enough over there yet. But that's another reason why that stuff goes on. Like I said before, it's changing. The world is changing and they cannot stand it. Okay. Nolan, I think his name is Nolan Wells. Nolan was messing with a white girl. Okay. And apparently somebody didn't like that very much. Apparently they were hating. Okay. And that's what a lot of white people who feel a certain type of way about black people, that's how they act. That's why they show out. They're jealous. They're jealous. They don't have the swag. They don't have that decorum. They don't have certain things that a lot of blacks have naturally. That's just it's within us, man. Right? And some people can't deal with that. They can't be happy in their own skin. Right? They can't. You can't stand to see somebody excel, somebody be better than them, and they lash out, guys. And that's all this is.
Just imagine what we wasn't, but even when we was free, what they did to black men. Exactly. I don't even gotta say nothing. If you don't know, go do your homework. But if you up here talking about upping a blick because you all emotional and scared for your life, then probably you shouldn't be dating black women. Because black men had to do that all the time, bro. They dated white women knowing that the end game, that could be the end. And they still did that shit. So if you up here complaining and crying about dating black women, maybe you shouldn't, bro. Because at the end of the fucking day, bro, it's no need for you to be talking about getting a blick and upping a blick when
He's just a shook white boy. That's all it is. He's just shook. I mean, stay out of areas, certain areas, right? And if the girl is ratchet, she's probably coming from a ratchet location. You know, if you like, there's some of these guys who like these ratchet women. Some of these white boys like the ratchetness, but they don't want what comes with the ratchetness. So if you got to drop her off somewhere, questionable, you might want to think twice about that. Okay, you might want to figure out another arrangement as far as how you guys are hooking up or linking up. All right, if she doesn't have a car or however you want to do it, Uber to me, something, right? But yeah, man, I think you're over exaggerating. I think you just shook, and in your head, it seems like it's a lot worse than what's really happening. Because trust me, if they really wanted to handle you, you would have been handled.
black men been going through this shit since the beginning of fucking time, dog. Like, that shit. Y'all boys need to grow the fuck up, because that's what y'all are. Y'all a bunch of fucking boys cosplaying being men. And that shit is getting sickening after a while. Like, you probably 20, 25, something like that, and then you want her talking like a 10-year-old, 13-year-old, like you a fresh teen out of high school, like you don't know better. And then for anybody that sit there and agree with this man, for my community, because there's a lot of y'all under there agreeing with him, y'all sick too. And then y'all got the nerve to come on here, disrespect the Haitians, disrespect the Africans. I'm black American, but I know I'm African descent. What the why wouldn't I be? Africans used to be royal. First of all, let's get this down right. Either they don't remember or know their history. I know, because the land tell me, my spiritual God tell me everything I need to know. You heard? And I know I'm indigenous to this land, so don't get on here talking about, oh, he admitted that he's African, so he ain't indigenous. Bro, Africans used to travel the world way before y'all even got on this motherfucking planet. If it wasn't for Waku making y'all wouldn't even be here. So let's not start that dumb shit. Let's start talking facts when y'all get on here and start crying wolf, because I don't want to hear that shit. Just know, if you up a blick on a black person and you in the wrong motherfucking neighborhood, bro, that's your ass. So peace out, boy. Get your shit together and man up. That's how you really protect your woman, by ignoring shit, walking past shit, doing what we did for the longest, even though y'all still hunted us down like wild animals. Like, fuck out of here, weirdo.
You said they attempt to intimidate you, which is basically you saying they're trying to intimidate you, but they fail to. So if they're failing to intimidate you, why exactly would you need a weapon? You kind of caught yourself out right there. This is about something deeper.
Imagine a black guy saying the same thing he said because of, white men and how they react to him being with white women.
And a black man would actually have a far more of a basis to make that type of statement based on the historical context. And in my personal opinion, I think you as a black guy have a lot more to worry about when it comes to a random white guy hating on you for being with a white woman than a black guy hating on a white guy for being with a black woman. But that would still be an insane thing to say. And then notice how he said violence, but didn't show no examples of the violence, didn't say one example he's been in. To call for such a thing but not even have one example of the violence is crazy.
Yeah, he just wants attention, like somebody else said earlier, guys. I just think that's what it is. That's all it is. He just wants attention. Man, the age of social media can be a sickening one at times. It really can.
And if you see the way they're eating it up in the comment section, I'm not surprised he felt this comfortable to say this.
Man, shut your up. Oh no, another white man making up a false scenario in order to spread propaganda that black men are the most dangerous people on the planet. Right? Meanwhile, they're following our black women around in parking lots. They're literally following black women around in parking lots. They're shooting up churches. They're strangling they're strangling girls. Oh no. Like, big dog, this shit is just funny. I just laugh at it because outside the internet, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck about these scenarios. Okay? I want black women to protect themselves from all men who think that they can run up on a woman with no repercussions. Send their ass to Sky Daddy. But we ain't about to come on here and just make up fake scenarios. Like, the fact that y'all are sitting here saying that black men are going out of their way to make y'all uncomfortable for dating black women, we don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to tell you.
There's no scenarios where a black man's blowing a white man away because he's dating a black woman.
Bro, it doesn't happen. It doesn't. We don't have that jealousy in our hearts like a lot of these white men have for black men. We don't have that, guys, because a lot of white people think that we don't deserve or we shouldn't be able to attain some of the things that they're able to attain. That's just the truth. That's how they feel. And when they see their kind, their women flock to us, it pisses them off because they see it. That's what makes them upset. They see it before their women see it. And then when it happens and when it manifests itself, then they lose their shit, right? It goes so deep. I could talk about this shit for ages, but it's a circus.
But there are definitely situations where white men will intimidate black men for dating white women. That is a thing. That is a thing. Just making shit up on the internet, bro.
Brother, you need to think about the implications of what you say because that is incredibly destructive to the black community. You are insinuating that every white man is inherently in danger by black men because they're dating black women. Do you hear that? Do you know who that implicates? You were talking about the women that you enjoy dating are endangered by their male counterparts.
Does he even really date black women? I don't even know. Nowadays, man, you can't even tell that. This might be a whole, 110% facade. This could be something he doctored up for attention and trying to stir the pot. I mean, it could be as easy as that, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow it came out and said, oh, it was all facade. He's never dated a black woman in his life. I wouldn't even be surprised.
So they're brothers, their fathers, their cousins, their uncles. You were telling every white man who is attracted to black women to defend themselves against black men. A lot of white men I know anticipate being harmed by black men. I don't know why. It must be an aftermath of slavery. But more so on that, the aftermath of slavery left the black family broken, okay? Black people do not know how to have relationships with each other. This is why sometimes you see a black woman scorned. They feel scorned by the black man who wants the white woman. And that is just a proximity to whiteness. It's the same thing for black women who like white men. But it's not through and through. It's not end all be all. It's not saying just because you are a black man or a black woman who enjoys dating black or white women or white men, anybody should be able to date anybody is my point. And this is once again not to negate your experience because your experience is valid. But the bottom line is also that you can be targeted and harmed by anybody anywhere. You could be walking down the street and somebody could decide to attack you for whatever reason. It could be your skin color. It could be whatever reason. Same thing for when you're on the road. Like at any point you could be attacked by anybody. So then inciting violence against black men because you're worried that they're going to incite violence on you because of a stereotype that you have is a problem. Just like I was in Publix the other day and there was this drunk older black guy trying to hit on this black woman, and I could tell she was uncomfortable, and the person I'm Captain Save or whatever, so then I was pretending to be her brother, you know what I'm saying? And it somehow worked, and he went away. But what I'm saying is it's not indicative of whether you're black, whether you're white. You should not say that. We can talk about it. You can have a conversation about it without saying, all right, white guys, we gotta strap up.
Listen, man, it's a dirty game out here. And if you don't learn anything at all, you should learn that. You should learn to stay on your pivot at all times. And, you know, I rarely go outside. I go do the things I need to go do. I do my grocery shopping. I do, you know, go to work. Those things that only the bare minimum. And I made sure the place where we stay, the area we stay at, is quiet, peaceful. There's nothing that ever goes down. The town goes to sleep mostly at 9 o'clock. Everything's shutting down. It's all of that type of stuff, guys. And stay inside, right? And that's it. And that's all. I did a lot of shit in my 20s. I was outside a lot. I was doing so I was able to see a lot of things. I was able to witness a lot of things, and you know, had some close calls, if I'm being honest, in my younger days. But now with social media and all this, guys, it's just best to stay inside, unless you have some sort of purpose, and even then, you're not guaranteed safety and able to return home. So just be careful out here. I'm gonna end the video here. I just thought this was, I thought it was funny. I thought it was hilarious that this guy even, you know, put this on wax. But apparently he did. This is the internet. So I guess I can't be surprised about this. But it is what it is. I want to thank anybody who came through for the stream, poked your head in, whatever. I know it's at a crazy time, 3 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, it is what it is. I'll be streaming at these times. When I'm able to stream earlier, I will. But right now, this is the time. So this is what I'm doing here. With that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody again for the last time. And I will see you guys